So he has 1 mark of chaos. I'm going to give him another one, hoping for Slanesh. It's Nurgle, so it gives him extra health and it gives him the poison ability. Good evening, Riv here, and welcome to a game called the Horus Heresy Legions. Horus Heresy Legions is a trading card game. I first started playing several years ago on my mobile phone. It probably wasn't several years ago, but it was a good couple of years ago. It was pre-COVID, so there you go. In terms of a trading card game, there are lots of cards for a lot of different factions. When we get into the game, I'll do a count and show you how many factions are actually in the game, but there are lots, and each faction has its own faction unique mechanics. Some mechanics are shared with other factions, but there's generally a mechanic that's specific to that faction. So you can match up a deck to your particular play style. What I'm going to do now is just switch across and show you the screen. So here we are at the main screen. It's like a lot of mobile games. You got your free currency you get by playing the game. You get your premium currency. This you can't actually buy. If you go to the shop, you can buy gold, which you get by playing the game. But the gems you only get by crate rewards and by having multiples of a card. So you can have 2 of a particular card type, except for the gold cards where you can only have a maximum of 1 of them. If you happen to get another one of those cards from a free crate, a daily reward, buying a crate from the store, any doubles that you get of a gold card or triples that you get of a non-gold card, they just become gems. So you build up your gem reserves by buying crates, opening free crates, or playing events and getting crate rewards. So there's no real pay to win kind of strategy here. The only paying that you get is by buying gold, buying event tickets, which you get free by playing the game. You use gold or real life currency to buy decks, but there's no guarantee what you're going to get in the deck. So you can purchase a VIP subscription. I never have. $5 for a week of VIP that gets you an extra event ticket, an extra 50 gold in your daily rewards, a veteran status, 50% event points, and more cards in the shop, 20% more experience from playing matches, and a 500 gift, 500 gold gift for one time only. To me, it doesn't really seem worth it. It's only $5, but you're not really getting that much for it, so I've never bothered. So on your main screen, it looks exactly the same on the mobile phone as well, obviously a lot smaller. So up the top, you've got your standard details here. You can pick different card backs, different sayings and different banners here. You can see your event tokens, your gold currency, and your gem currency. You can see your global rank. I hover somewhere around 1200 to about 1700. I don't play it that seriously, and whilst I do play it every day, I don't play it constantly. It's it's a bit of fun for me, so I'm not certainly not up there with the top tiers, but I'm not, well, I don't know if I'm down the bottom either. It's I'm sitting somewhere around the 1500 on average. On the right hand side, you can see your stats with your crates. So you get a free crate, I think it's like every hour. If you've got notifications on your phone or you're logging in on the computer, just make sure you check it. You get 3 cards. One of them is either going to be gold or an event card, and then you get 2 troop cards. Daily mission, you've got to get 5 wins, and then you win your daily mission. It's good to note that daily mission is for the day that you started on. So if I play and I get 4 wins, I then stop playing. The next day I get that 5th win, and then I get another 5 win. I'll actually get 2 of the daily missions in the one day. So they carry over. And then you got your challenge. So every day there's a daily challenge. This one is spend energy on troop abilities. If I can get 40 points of energy spent in this 24-hour period, I get a prize, and that's a 5-card crate. You can click on the icon here and choose where you want those cards to come from. At the moment, with the release of the neutral faction mission cards and the new cards, I'm going for some chaos cards here just to boost up some of the decks that I've got. But you can pick anything that you want, fill the deck out as quick as possible, then move on to another one. And fairly recently, they brought out these campaigns. When I say recent, it's probably been several months or longer. You click on that and you can go through a campaign. It's about 10 battles. If you lose a battle, you have to start again. You get all the way through the battle. You can then go up to the next tier. So you get 3 tiers in the campaign, and they're just different warlords and different battles that you're fighting. If you defeat the final tier, so the 3rd tier, this final battle, you get a unique card back. So that's the back of my cards at the moment. You're looking at... So this one here was the first one that I had won. I don't know if it was the first event campaign, but yeah. They're just unique card backs. So win that campaign, you get a unique card back. And at the end of each of the 3 tiers, you actually get a crate as well that can have some of the lords in there, as well as your normal cards and gold coins and stuff. Down the bottom, you've got your shop. So up here, you've got your when you've got enough gold, you can buy a crate. So the original game only had these 4 factions to start with, and every time they released an expansion, it released a few more factions. So I'll actually just count them now so you can see how many factions there are. So there are 25 factions. Of those 25 factions, 18 of them are Astartes factions. Then you've got the latest one here, the Titan Death Crate, gives you cards from these other factions as well. And then you've got cosmetic crates as well that can get you card backs and sayings and banners and whatnot. So basically this stuff here. So these are sayings that you can put in on your banner. You've got unique banners, you've got unique card backs, and these are the sayings for the Lord. So if I had this guy here, there are 5 sayings that you can use. It's just a way of communicating with your opponent. Every Lord has the first 3 available. Then there are another 2 that you can purchase or get through crate rewards that unlock.
Surrender to the primordial truth.
So stuff like that.
Have all the time in the world.
So yeah, when you get enough gold, buy crates, play events, get a whole bunch of gold, get a whole bunch of crates. Any multiples that you can't keep, you get gems for, and then you can go to these others 2 here. So these ones here you buy with gems only. As you can see, I own all of these here except for that one there. That's a gold card, and it's 1600. So I don't really need that one. So to me, I wouldn't bother. That one there's a mission card. Mission cards are unique cards that came out fairly recently. If I didn't have it, I would probably get it because I do play the Thousand Suns every now and then. So they're all Thousand Suns except for this guy here, which is the Mechanicum. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that card. That one, I'll probably get it in a crate reward at some stage. So generally, the only cards that I buy here are Lords that I don't have, which are generally the first or the second card. So they're both Lords. That one's a Lord. And mission cards. The only other card I would buy would be a gold. So mission cards are not always there. That's quite rare. You would probably see a mission card once or twice a week in the store. Lords every day, 3 of them, and gold cards, generally 1 gold card a day. So if this one, it happens to be a mission card, and then another one there. The next one over are your cards. I won't go through the decks yet, but these are the collections, so you can go through and see 1,000 Suns. These are all the cards that I've got. And the last time I opened it, you can see the red dots. They're the new cards. So since the last time I opened this, I can go through, okay, yeah, that's a new one. It's a Lord, that's what it does, blah, blah, blah. Any other new cards that I've picked up, I can click through them. I used to go and do this because I didn't like all the red dots. But with the release of the new cards, there are so many new cards, I can't be bothered. So you got your traitors, your loyalist, your unaligned, so orphans of war, defenders of Caliban, and the night houses. And then you got your neutrals, so Imperial Army, Mechanicum, and Chaos. The neutral factions you can actually merge your cards with. So I can then put some of those neutral cards into my Iron Warriors deck to complement the troop cards in there. So I'll show you a couple that I've got here. I don't know if there's a limit on the number of decks that you can have. I have a few. Every faction I'll have at least one deck for it. And then when I get... So if I get this one, for example, if you don't select any of the tiers here, you'll see all the lords that you've got. So I have 3 lords for this faction, so I can chop and change them by just dragging out, and it swaps the warlord out. That doesn't affect the rest of the deck, so I do keep multiple decks for lords if I want to build them a particular way. So this one here, this lord has a 1 point cost, gives can't attack until the next turn. The next time it deals 2 damage. The initiative is high, so generally this lord will go first for the first turn. This is an orange one. It's a higher level, generally has better skills or more health. There's a reason why it's a better rated card. So Battle Honor. If Battle Honor is an ability, if you kill a troop, you get to do this again. So Battle Honor, if I kill a troop, I create a seal in my deck. So seals are the unique mechanic for this faction. I won't go into that now, but it's the unique thing. Only this faction has that. But then for a 1 point cost, I can create a Sonic Fury in my hand. I have apparently friendly matches. I think they're the non-rated ones. So ranked matches, I've played this Lord 15 times, and of those 15, I've won 7 of them. I can click this button up here, and I can hear all the different voiceovers. So there's actually 6, not 5. So you get the first 3 for free, or maybe the first 4, whatever it happens to be.
I exist here as a tool for the will of the Regent. You can thank the Sigilite for that.
They're just ways of communicating with your opponent. But if I want to see what this Sonic Fury does, click on that. Warlord gains +2 this turn, but it costs 2 points to put it in there, so I should probably cover that very briefly. First turn you have 2 points to spend. The next turn you get an additional point, so from the second turn you get 3 points to spend, then 4, then 5, and so on up to 10. Once you hit 10, it just stays at 10 all the way through the game until you've beaten your opponent or your opponent beats you. So these ones up here, if I sort by up to 1 point per, these are 1s, these are 0s. It sorts it by your faction. Then it does Chaos, Imperial Guard, and Mechanicum. So if I wanted to put some cheap labour into a deck, but I only had these 2 cards, I could grab some of these other ones here just to fill the deck out. Or if you've got a new faction but you don't have enough cards to make a deck, you can see over here it takes 30 cards to make a deck before you can actually play it. I can pad my deck out with some of these other neutral faction cards. So if you've been playing for a while, you've got a whole host of cards for Imperial Guard, but you just start playing Imperial Fist or something like that. You don't have enough cards to make an Imperial Fist army, but you want to theme it around something in particular. You can just grab a whole bunch of Imperial Guard to pad that deck out. If you don't care about the theme of the deck, you just grab whichever card you want, Chaos, Mechanicum, whatnot. And just recently they started bringing out these, what do they call them? Premium cards. It's the exact same card. but it's got a fancy border on it and a big logo. You can also upgrade your cards going through the card collection window. You can pay gems to give it the pretty border. That doesn't really interest me, so I haven't bothered. So that's the basics of the deck. Your top tier is 7+, so starting from rank 7 to 10, these are where you'll find your big hitter cards. I find that rank 6 is the lowest number of cards that I have. Even though I've been playing for a while, tiers 1 to 5, heaps of cards in them. But there just never seems to be very many tier 6 cards. Anyway, one other little tip I will go through here. Your challenge, your daily challenge. Every day it's a different daily challenge, but they're on a rotation. So there's something like, I don't know, 7, probably 7 actually, one for each day of the week. It goes on a rotation, so you'll go through, tomorrow's daily challenge might be play a card that has a rally ability, play a card that has relentless ability, and you've got to play 30 or 40 of those cards. So this one here spent energy on troop abilities. I could use this deck here and go through looking for cards that have an ability. If I have a look through here, the Bile Hell Cannon, that's a troop ability. It costs 2 energy and I deal 3 damage and I poison an enemy troop. This one has one, deal 5 damage, the troop loses stealth, and if it dies you create a seal in your deck. So the icon that we're looking for is this lightning bolt up here. So I do have a couple of troops in here, but to get that, 40? To get that 40-point challenge completed, I would have to play this deck a number of times to get that done. So what I've done, I kicked them all up the top. It's a deck built specifically to win those challenges. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so I've got 11 decks here. So the current challenge, troop abilities, I've got a deck here called Troop Abilities. Every card in this deck has a troop with an ability in it. So I can hit this eyeball up here and it will give me a breakdown of all the cards. So I can hold my cursor over it and I can see that's a 0 cost ability, destroys the troop, gives a +1 to attack and defense to my infantry and daemon troops. That one there, 1 cost ability, gives me front line and +2 for my health. You can see on the card, the top right hand corner, that's your energy cost. The bottom right hand corner, that's your health. And the bottom left hand corner, that's your attack. If this card was to attack another card that's identical, it would do 2 of 3 health damage to the opponent, so it would be left with 1. When you attack, the enemy troop also attacks you, unless you have a trait that denies them the ability, which we'll cover at a later stage. That card there doesn't actually have an active ability, but I found that I needed a little bit of frontline protection for some of these troops because I just wasn't able to get enough troops out there to use abilities before they would get killed. So I do have a couple of them here that are not actually going to be doing anything other than just protecting. That's a really good, I find, a really good way to get these daily challenges done every day to get those rewards. But it's not a good way to keep your global ranking up because the deck isn't designed to win the game. The deck is there designed to complete the challenge. So, these 11 decks up here just to win those challenges, and then I have all the other decks down here that are just enjoyable to play, all very different play styles through all the different factions. So then you have your main battle window here. You have your lodge. That's a lodge, a guild, a clan. Every game has them. This is the one that I'm in. And then you have your event. Events last for it's like I think it's about a month actually. I'm already active in one, so I can't show you what it's like when you start. But if you're not in it, you can pay a single event token cost, or you can pay 10. So to start an event, you pay an event token. It then gives you the ability to pick out of 4 warlords. 2 are good and 2 are bad. And because every deck has to contain 30 cards, it then gives you 3 choices of 3 cards. So it'll display the 3 options on the screen. You click on the first option, it shows you the 3 cards. Click on the second, shows you the 3. Click on the third, shows you the 3. You choose whichever lot of 3 cards you want to use in your deck. You then go to the next one. It gives you another 3 options of 3 cards. And then you go through until you get all 10 lots of 3. That gives you your deck of 30. So you want to go through those options in such a way as to build a deck that's complementary. This is your neutral battleground. You're not competing with players who have built their decks up over the years. You can play people who are really experienced and really new, but they're all going through the same pool of cards. So it kind of levels the playing field a bit. You then come down here to your lodge points. So the lodge that I'm in accumulated 2,745 points. If we get up to 3,000, we'll then unlock this reward here. At the moment, we're still on the 1,000 point reward. Okay, that's enough of that. We're just going to pick a deck and play a game. I think I might play this guy. I haven't played him in a while. He's a Chaos Lord. His unique ability, he reduces the maintenance cost of friendly demons by 2. So when you put a demon on the battlefield, they reduce the points that you have to spend each turn. So you have a maximum of 10 once you hit turn 10. If I have a demon out there that costs 4 points, I'm only going to have 6 points every turn. So you can offset that with some troops, but then there are a couple of lords that have this unique ability that reduces that maintenance cost. That's actually fairly new. He didn't have that originally. His main one there was a 1 point cost, give a mark of chaos plus 1 health to a non-demon troop. So you would generally have a lot of low tier troops in here. So I've got a couple here that are in the higher tiers. So tier 7 is the highest that I've gone. I can see the breakdown here. Majority of my cards are in the tier 3. I want to have a lot of low tier troops out there that I can increase with these marks of chaos. So I can turn them into behemoths with these marks of chaos and other buffs. So yeah, lots of low tier troops. So if we go through very briefly, nothing in there. There's a couple of low tier cards starting to come through. Then a couple of these ones, like this one over here. It's stealth, it takes 1 damage and it heals my warlord for 3. So this guy normally, he'd only be able to use this ability 3 times unless you had some way of healing him. With the warlord's ability, it gives him an extra health point every time I cast it on him. So I could cast that on to the troop. I could then use the troop's ability to heal him 3 points. I can only do that 4 times because once you give 4 marks of chaos to a troop, they transform into a demon. So the demons that you're looking at are things like this. Enemy warlord has 0 attack, but it has a maintenance of 4. So with this, that's reducing that cost by 2, so it's only having a maintenance of 2 on it. So tier 3 is where I got a lot of my cards. Cards like this. It's a cultist. When a friendly cultist attacks, gains +1 to attack and +1 to health. So this card really benefits from having a lot of other cultists in the deck. I'm not using the deck for that purpose, but I have got a lot of cultists in there because it's a chaos themed. I generally try to theme my decks around something rather than just having a deck that uses every card available. I don't like having a good faction with bad troops in it. That's just my personal preference. It's probably why I'm not really high up in global ranking. I like to theme them around something. So just using a lot of these cards, like this one here. has a trait called Relentless, and Relentless is at the start of its turn, it creates a Taint of Chaos in my hand. Taint of Chaos is this card here, and what it does is for a 1 point cost, it gives a Mark of Chaos to a non-daemon troop. So with the Warlord, with these cards, with troops like this that create those Taint of Chaos cards, troops like this one here, if it attacks a Warlord, it creates a Taint of Chaos. I'm able to improve my low tier troops really quickly with these Chaos cards. So this is a deck we're going to go with. Let's do a ranked battle. While you're waiting for a battle, you'll see these tips over here that you can scroll through. I've seen them all now, so I'm not that worried by them. Haven't seen a new one in a while. Okay, so when you start off, you have choices to make. You can throw these back into the deck. If you get a 9 or 10 point card, it's no point having it there in your hand unless you really want to keep it there. So these are all fairly low level, but I'm going to send that one back. And I might send that one back. So that's going to replace those with 2 other cards.
I'll guide you into the eye of time.
Give me the same one back.
Every door a new horror.
So if you are not the first person to attack, you get one of these cards. Each faction has a different card. So what that one does is it lowers the cost of a random card in my hand. No point holding on to it. Cast it now. That's now only 2 points. To use my ability, I need 1 point, so I could chuck that out. If I have a look at what he's doing, deal 2 damage. If it survives, create a theoretical. Theoreticals are the Ultramarines mechanic. I'm going to chuck it out now because he's probably not going to be able to kill it. I'm going to attack him as well. So when you attack, you deal your attack and they deal their attack. Unless you're using a card that has a unique ability that nullifies their attack, that's how it's going to work. So he's just put a 2/2 card in and turned it into a 4/4 card. So now I can use this. Gives him a Mark of Chaos and increases his health by 1. The Mark of Chaos was the Nurgle one. Makes him poisonous, so if I now attack him, at the end of his turn, he's going to die from poison. But I'm going to put another one onto him. Now he's got the Terror from Mark of Slanesh. If his attack was 2 or lower, I would attack him because it would kill him and he wouldn't be able to retaliate. But I'm just going to leave him there. So now if he and he both attacked, they would kill him off. But even though his attack isn't enough to kill him, he's now poisoned. So when his turn ends, he's going to die from poison. It's a really good utility for high tier troops. You can take out a troop just by poisoning him, even though you're a lot lower tier and unable to kill him through the damage. You can kill him by poisoning him. I'm going to put this card in. I'm not going to bother attacking. I do have the health advantage here, 37 versus 25. Okay, that's a frontline troop. So, unless I have flying troops, I cannot attack the Lord until I kill him. So I'm going to... I've only got 5 points to use, so... this guy heals 2 and gains +1 to his attack whenever I put in a Chaos Infantry card. That's any of these cards here. I'm going to put this guy out. It's going to buff him up 1. That card I'll show you in a second. Put that one out, buff him up again. I'm not going to attack with him just yet. What this card does, see how he's got that grey cloud over him? That's because he's stealth. He cannot attack him. He can cast spells that affect multiple troops, but he can't cast a spell on him. That guy there, whenever he takes damage, he gets a bonus to his health, to his attack. But now I can use this guy here, and it allows me to jam a random non-structure enemy. 1 point. He now goes to a standard card. Doesn't have any of his bonuses. I'm going to put this guy out. I'm going to buff him. Gives him extra health. And he gets the Mark of Khorne, which gives him +2 to his attack. Now, I'm just going to kill him. Even though if I had to use my guy to attack him, I would have got a Mark of Chaos. I didn't want him dealing 6 points of damage to my lord for the cost of... Oh. Just lost my stealth guy. That was one of those spells or tactics they call them in the game that targets multiple troops. I am going to put out this guy. When an enemy dies, put a Cygnus Acolyte in your hand. And put this guy out. And I am going to choose this one. Even though it's not as good a card, when a friendly troop dies, it heals completely and it gains 1 attack. Now I'm going to attack this guy. And this guy creates one of them. So if the opponent had a lot of cards and you used a tactic that killed a lot of them, or you had more troops and you just killed them quickly, he would create a lot of these. So I have 8 points to spend. Him. And a Renegade Knight. This Renegade Knight has Duplicious. The enemy warlord can't attack him. See what happened there? The Cygnus Acolyte died. And he put a bonus onto him when he died. You got Relentless. So at the start of his turn, he gets a Mark of Chaos passively. He can now fly, so he can bypass the front line troop and attack straight into one of these guys. So he has 1 Mark of Chaos. I'm going to give him another one. Hoping for Slanesh. Well, it's Nurgle, so it gives him extra health and it gives him the poison ability. I'm going to put that one in, and the trap. I might just kill him off, just get him out of the way, and my turn. Now if he puts a troop out, this one here is going to explode and deal 6 points of damage to the enemy troop. A cool skill with this one is that I can put this Mark of Chaos on him, which is going to give him 1 extra health. So now front line. This is a good combination here, the Insurgent Leader and Dark Retinue. Whenever you put out a Chaos Infantry, he gets 1 extra point of damage and he heals 2. This one here, when a Cultist dies, put in play another Cultist, Cultist Brute. If I had more troops out, I would put both of those out there, but I'm going to chuck that guy out. I'm going to buff my trap. And I'm going to put that out. So now if he attacks him, he's going to get poisoned. But if he puts out another troop, he's going to explode for 6 points of damage, but he's still going to have 1 point. He ended up killing him, so it didn't matter. And he's removed those 2 cards that I had in my deck. Okay, so health-wise, we're fairly even. He's got more cards in his hand to play. I'll put out that. I'll put out that. Gives him an extra point. I'm going to buff that guy. Okay, so he can fly. And he gets +1 to attack and health. That's more than I need to kill this guy. But I think at this stage of the game, I want to keep him alive. I'm going to do some damage to him and make him work to protect that guy. So he's now going to try and kill this guy as quick as possible because he doesn't want me to do another big hit on him. So I get rid of his frontline troop. I'm actually out of cards at the moment, which is not a great place to be. So he's used his troop quite effectively. He used a theoretical to give his troop backlash. Backlash is when your troop dies, the backlash ability happens. That backlash ability was to put the card back into his hand so he could replay it. I'm going to put him out. Buff him up. So he has a survivor. He has a sacrifice ability that if he dies by attacking another troop, he'll then put in play a random 3-cost troop. Didn't get to use it. So I'm going to be able to use him to heal my guy, my warlord, up next turn. So the guy I'm playing, El Bodo, is actually doing quite well compared to my deck at the moment. I'm in a bit of a bad way, but the game is not over yet. The game is looking like it's nearly over. So I'm now basically just in self-preservation. Well, that's all over. Well played. So that one, his deck was just more powerful than mine, and he had better cards coming out than what I did at the time. I'm going to do the same one again and see how we go this time. So you can build a deck however you like, but it will change dramatically based on your opponent and what they're doing, and the cards that pull out at the time. Okay, that's a really good tactic to have. I think I'm going to keep this one in my hand. I'm going to put that one back. Okay, that's a bit better.
I'll guide you into the Eye of Time.
We are the route.
So I got these 2-point troops here. When I attack their warlord, I'll get a Taint of Chaos. He is able to give him a Mark of Chaos. So depending on what he does, if he attacks this guy, I'll heal him up and give him a Mark of Chaos. Okay, so now he's got the mark of Slanesh, and that's terror. So because my attack, you can see here, when attacking troops with lower attack don't retaliate. My attack is higher than his. I can attack him and not suffer any damage. The only time that doesn't apply is when you're attacking a warlord. You'll always get a retaliation attack there. And that card back is quite unique. I haven't seen that before. So his global rank is 1472, so he's a lot higher than I am. I could use all 4 points up to put him out, or I could buff him, so I'm going to use that. Get a Taint of Chaos. So he got 2 marks of Chaos there by attacking and then using the Warlord ability. So he's got the Mark of Nurgle for the poison, and the Mark of Slanesh for the terror. So this Corrupted Archaeology, every turn, at the end of the turn, it puts a random 3-cost cultist out on the field. So you don't have to pay a cost, it's just every turn comes out. I think I'm going to put the Watcher out, just for the ability to neutralise troop special abilities, and I can't do anything now other than so I could have actually used him to attack that guy. Now that it's his turn, he gets an extra 2 points of attack during his turn. So that should have been the way that I went, but whatever. This one here, Preconception. I can't target him with attacks. Precognition, sorry. I can't target him with attacks, but I can target him with spells and any kind of AoE attacks that don't specifically target him. Okay, so he's been buffed up. On his next turn, he's going back up to 7 attacks, so I want to kill him off. Okay, neutralized him. I think I'll put him out. Now for me, I was hoping that guy would have been neutralized, jammed with this guy. That way I could just manually target him and kill him, but I can't do that. So I'm going to buff this guy.
Surrender to the primordial truth.
This little ring going around him is ward, means that I can't target him with a spell or a tactic. Oh, I keep calling them spells, they call them tactics in this game, but I can't use a tactic on him. See, that low tier troop is now hitting pretty hard. Tier 2 troop. And he has Berserk as well, means that he has to attack in his turn. He can't end his turn unless he's attacked. I wonder what would happen if you wanted to not attack for whatever reason, if you just let the timer on your turn go down. Yeah, test it out one day. Okay, I need to kill this guy. He also has Survivor, so when I hit him for 3 points and kill him, he'll come back to life with 1 point. So he needs to die. I'm going to put Insurgent Leader out. I am going to snot him. Gives me another Brute. Take the risk of trying to jam him. If I hit him, that kills him out. The only troop there now is here. He's now just a lowbie. Low tier, low damage troop again. So yeah, this is the kind of game that you can pick up and play really easily, but there are so many strategies that come into play, so many things that you just don't think about. I've been playing for a couple of years now, and I look at it and go, yeah, okay, I'm going to do A, B, and C, and then they kill me the next turn. I'm like, why didn't I see that? Just reasons. Okay, now I'm going to neutralize him. I am going to buff him. Okay, I can now kill him. And then he'll come back with another one. And I'll put that in. And I'll buff him. I'm going to put a hit in as well. Okay, when a troop dies, heal completely and gain +1. Pop him out. Pop out that. Now, I can't use my jam on there. But he has terror, so I can use that on him because his attack is higher, and 5 versus 4, he'll kill him. The red around there is Bloodlust. He gets to attack twice. He doesn't have enough to kill him, but he's going to get a bonus. So when I attack here, he gets a bonus because when a friendly cultist attacks, he gets +1 and +1. Now kill him. Another one will come back. He gets a buff and healed. He gets a buff and healed. Now you can only have 6 troops out, so he's not actually able to put out another card. So when you get to this point in the game, he's only got 1 card in his hand that he can put out. I've got a full field. I've got cards on hand, and I have abilities here that I can be casting to use up my points each turn. So this game is going to end up in a victory. Just because there's nothing that he can do, and every time someone dies, someone else gets buffed up. Just because I can.
I've all the time in the world.
So I'm going to Mark of Chaos this guy out to all 4, just to show you what it looks like when you bring a demon out. And there are several different demons, so... so you don't know what demon you're going to be getting. Okay.
You fight like a parasite.
Don't need him. So, yeah. So victory, my global rank went up by 33, his went down by 33. Enemy casualties, tactics deployed, damage dealt, experience, the gold that you get versus what they did. Free crate just timed out. You can see down here, I already have this card. So for a normal card, it gives you 5 gems. For a green card, it gives you whatever it happens to be. Gold is like 400 gems. Orange, I think, is 100. So green is probably like 10 or 20. I need one more mission to get the daily. I think that'll about do it for this video though. This is just a very brief overview of this game. There is a lot to do in here. Certainly far more than what you can cover in a single video. If you want to see any more of them, then chuck a comment in there, let me know. If there's a particular faction you want me to cover. Some of the newer factions like the Titans. So if you want to see the Trader Legions, this is the Titan Builder. So you can choose what kind of gear you've got on there. Which is pretty cool and a new feature. What's the good guys Titan? So there are lots of cards, lots of factions, lots to do, far more than what you can pick up in one video. So if you want to see any more, let me know. If there's a faction that you want me to cover, cards or unique things about a particular faction, then just let me know in the comments, and happy to check out a few more videos. So until next time, take care, and I'll catch you later.